the Creation Evaluation Station, where I give in-depth reviews of models and construction kits, both new and old. Mostly Lego, but other products as well. I also review and discuss other creative works, such as movies, cartoons, and video games. And today, I will not be evaluating anything, because we are going to be having a building challenge. Now, unfortunately, I had to re-record this video. I don't have the box to show you, but we are going to be basically building an upgraded Jay's Lightning Dragon EVO. And like I said, I don't have the box, so I originally recorded this and unfortunately lost the clip somewhere. So the basis of this building challenge is, well, a building challenge can be anything, but you usually have to have limits to your building challenge, requirements. And the requirements for this building challenge is that I take 2 of Jay's Thunder Dragon EVO and create a new Thunder Dragon EVO. Well, it does not have to be EVO. And that we're not worried about the EVO, but we are building a new Thunder Dragon for Jay. Using the parts from both sets. So we're basically doubling up on the set. We can't use any other parts. That's part of the rules. We have to use what was contained in those 2 boxes. And that's the challenge. I want to, going forward in the future, I want to do something like this more often and have some more interactivity with my viewers, where I challenge you and I do the challenge myself, and later there we do another review and look at them and stuff like that. But that's all for the future. This I basically wanted to do because I wanted to show what can be done with some of these new parts that we've gotten with this Ninjago core wave, and see what we can do. And fortunately, I've already done that. I've already made the mock, so I can say that I think I successfully did that. We will look at that in a moment. Yeah, and if you want to see more of these challenges, I don't plan on really doing them too much until I can get more viewers, because what's the point if there isn't anybody participating? So if you watch this and you like my videos and you like this, please subscribe. I need to get that subscriber count. I see people watching my videos, they're not subscribed though. So subscribe, and also, as I said at the opening, I do in-depth reviews, so my videos can be on long. This one will probably be shorter because it's not really an in-depth review of everything. But make sure you're checking out the down below in the description, and right here at the bottom of the the video here where the bar is, there are timestamps that you can use to skip around to whichever part you're most interested in, whether it's the figures or the actual review or what parts are in the set. You can skip around with that, or use them as bookmarks too if you're interested in watching the whole video and just don't have time to do it all at once. So with that, let's go check out the mock that I built. Here's our completed mock, and it's completed but not completed. As you can see here, as it goes around, the one side of the wings are only one side is done and the other is not. I basically ran out of the good pieces that I need to do that, and since this was a building challenge, it required me to use only those parts from the set. Now, when I get done with this video and I have free time, I might go over this and improve a lot of the things about it, because as you can see, it looks pretty darn good, if I say so myself. That stance gives me a way he's standing or whatever, gives me a very Digimon type vibe. But it looks good, but he wouldn't pass standards at Lego, because if you start playing around with him, pieces start falling off left and right, quite literally. Um, we'll take a little bit closer look at him. We'll get him off that platform, take a close look, and yes, he's probably going to fall apart right in my hands as I look at it close. But I think I succeeded what I wanted to do, which was to use these new arm and leg pieces and such to see what I could do with them. And there's still more that could be done. I mean, I was, limited by parts here. But I think it came out rather lovely, and it does so, it doesn't look quite so, you can tell that you're using those arms, at least in the sets that Lego had built. They're not quite so masked, the legs and arm pieces. What I did here with the upper thigh here was leg, was pretty nice. I extended it out considerably, but also covered up that piece, so it's not quite so noticeable anymore. And also, you see I used them here for the wings. Let's see, we gotta lift that up just a little bit. Let's focus on up there. And I used the existing wing pieces that came with this set, and it doesn't look too bad. This kind of fixes what I was talking about with the red Kai's fire dragon, which link above in one of these corners here will give you the review of that. But I really didn't care for, they just stuck the wings, attached them to the additional point here, and the piece isn't designed to look very good when you do that. It requires a little bit more, which is what I did here, which you can hopefully see. It's a little bit loose because even that is not really complete, but there's a hinge here so you can extend it and bring it back down as well. Look at that close when we get closer. And yeah, there's a lot of and I think, like I said, I think these parts, what I did here definitely shows what can be done with these new parts. The real problem with isn't these new parts, but the mixel joints with this. Mixel joints are great for smaller things, and they work great here for the tail, the wing pieces. Even the upper arms aren't too bad, although they need to be a little bit more secured in here, in the shoulder area. In the hands and everything else, I used them. But up here in the hip joints, this is very touchy because this guy is a little bit weighty. I did some things to lighten it up just a little bit, which I don't know if you can really even see, but the body is not solid. It's a little bit deceiving how solid it looks. So it helped lighten it up some, but those hip joints, even with lightening up, it doesn't take much and it will go splat, plop down on the ground. So I would probably change out these mixel joints that you can see right here in the back, with some probably more like bionicle size joints, or even some click hinges, the heavy duty hinges. Although it may not need need it that bad, but yeah, those joints only work for so much. They seem to be fine with the hip or the ankles down here, which I got joints down there as well, but the hips really need to be replaced and changed. I wanted to bulk them up a little bit more. Obviously, if I've got two sets, I should do that. So I added an extra joint here in the neck, and I put some more pieces into the tail, a little bit larger tail. I was just going to keep the tail the same, but I needed some pieces from the tail, from the old tail, to go to work on some of the wings and some of the other things. So I ended up building him a new tail. And he's got this really cool, what I call lightning star, thunderstar, excuse me. This is Morningstar type weapon he's got there. And yeah, let's take a closer look at him. Got the figures in there for scale. I actually used most of J for the to build his hands, which I don't even know if you can really tell. And the snake guys are I used this guy's backpack also for the hand, so he doesn't have that anymore. Let's shut this down. Come on, there you go. And let's get that out of the way. Yep, and instantly the hips start slipping out of joint. Although it does hold up fairly well. And it's because I have it cocked at an angle. And looks like he's sitting on his tail, but he's not. I can lift his tail up like that. And you see that he's still standing semi-erect. But yeah, these hip joints are definitely one of the weakest points. Let's turn him around here and look at this wing. Now the wing, I did it the way it is, and it's just like for looks, because you can see here this just slips on. I needed a different piece there for it to actually work. But you can see you can move it in. Oh, let's move that. You can move it in and out. It's also got this here, so oops, like I said, that just is slid on there. But if you get the right piece, which I know I have the right piece somewhere, that can be fixed. So if you want to fold up all the wings all the way, you can do that. You can extend them out like that. Even if you want the weird funky pose from the thing, you can do this. And I think these pieces here work really great. Say I could have used some more pieces to reinforce these joints attachments, which should do. I left it kind of blank. Was running out of pieces, and we'll look at what I had left over. There's probably still some pieces I could probably put on there, but I didn't. But there's more I could do with this. I did a lot already, but there's definitely more I could do with it. But it gets the point across. Anyways, you could use these like this, because this works very good for this part of a wing, like the base of a wing, and then put hinge joints on here and stuff, and attach them to those like golden swords or whatever to make them look like feathers. They've done this in the past with dragon wings, but you could easily do that with this. Use this for the base and have them for the ribbing. It'd probably look really nice. Anyways, this guy, I'm really happy with the way his chest turned out. Oh, yep, see, there's flaw number one. But yeah, I really like how his chest turned out. But it does require some issues, or some things to fix it. It has some issues. And that being this right in here. It's studs on the side building, but it needs another row up here to make this really secure, to secure that shoulder piece on, so it doesn't fall off like you just witnessed. And yeah, the wings are also attached to that shoulder piece, so that all came off as well. And the arm needs a little bit of securing because it's only attached by 2 studs there, and that was more a lack of pieces there as well. And you can see here, I actually reused the second head, because there's the face with the eyes right there. Use some joints in there to put these in there and kind of hide and disguise that. So you can probably see a little bit better there, the holes with inside it. And yeah, I messed around with the tail a little bit more than I wanted to, but there's that. Put extra joint in here with the neck. Still has that click joint up top. Has limited movement, but with the 2 joints, I think it's got more than enough movement between the 2 of them. And here's a closer look at his hand, which, if you extend it out, I used some joints in here. I could have just attached it straight on there, but it would have made the hand at a weird angle. Ooh. And there goes the other shoulder, but we can still look at this. I think there's the use of the backpack there to make this hand the really extenuated claws, and he's even got a little black limb claw there. Thought that turned out really well. The other hand, we have Jay's legs here as fingers. You may have seen this type of construction before if you look around. But I also used the mixel joint here for the thumb. This mixel joint is the thumb. I thought that worked good. Color schemes, so kind of close. And yeah, he literally holds on to the Morningstar handle. It sits in there, and this mixel joint is good and stiff and holds on to it. And then we have these claws with a chain on it. Now the chain actually is just there to help secure the claws into place by making a deeper hole for them to go into. Ideally, I wouldn't have used the chain. It worked, but I would use probably cones if I had them. There were no cones in the set, but yeah, I would exchange them out, put like 2 cones next to each other, and then put the swords down through. And probably might do that, like I said, if I fix this up. Let's see, let's see if I can give you a closer look at this wing. It's only 2 pieces, and you just gotta change this so it actually has a rod connector to it, and then you got a pin in there, and then you get this nice movement here. You won't have this movement. It'll stay like this. I think that's okay. You just need this. This you can have move it around this way and this way. So you have plenty of movement there, and it would look better. Like, I love that extended light. Said before on the Red Dragon, it was like this, and it was permanently stuck like this, and it just didn't do it for me. Take a closer look at anything else here. See, I told you I was showing this is going to fall apart, and I meant it. But yeah, part of what's supporting these hips is actually this piece in here to prevent more movement, and that's allowing it to stand fairly well. I would definitely do more with these feet. They're pretty simple. I do like the way the toes are, but yeah, I'd do something more different. Make them bigger for one. That would give them more of a sturdy base. I got to do something a little bit more here in the tummy region. These are only hooked on by one stud, so they're not super secure. And this is going to fall off. You can see inside there, I did some really funky things because I have the studs facing this way, and then I used some other pieces to do a little thing to turn the studs facing up to put this on. Now, it wasn't necessary, but I had already done it, and I think I could have easily figured a way to do it just using this one single piece going this way, but I already done this, so I had it was good enough. I wasn't going to play around with it much more. As you can see the difference is I went from this way to going back up, opposed to going studs all going down. And there's not too much more to show. Like this head design, I didn't really do anything to it. Just used that. The only thing I did was this was part of the neck, or it was attached to this before, and I just put it on another mixel joint to extend it out some more. But that turned out pretty good. And the chest, like I said, looks nice. I put the printed piece there, kind of as an emblem. I wanted them to stand more erect, but to do that, I would have to switch these joints around, and The problem is it makes them even weaker. So that's why I flipped them back this way. I did have them the other way, but this actually gives more strength to them. So that's one reason why they're that way. But they're also stuck in this position. I can't move them out side to side anyways. At least not having it close to the body. It's stuck in this. It's just a very little motion. But it lets them stand. Well, tail flop down. So let's go back to my desk and give some final thoughts on this. This is what I have left over from building my mock. There's still quite a few pieces here, but not too much useful for what I was doing. This isn't really a leftover, it just wasn't attached very well, so they said I'll be fixing that. There's, you know, little things I could have done to it, but I think I proved my point, especially with these new pieces, what can be potentially done. And there's still more that can be done. Like, you see that's a Technic pin there, and more could probably be done with that. Fortunately, there weren't a lot of stuff along the Technic lines that you could in this set. I mean, there were pins, but you were limited. So there's probably even more interesting things you could be done with these pieces. I'm sure if people actually play around with them, they can figure it out. Especially some of them master builders out there. Yeah, this is what quite a bit left over. Welcome back to the desk. Now, we're not going to give this an eval. Mocks don't really get evals. We're not professionals here. I'm not. You're not. But I do want to know what you guys think of this mock. And before I get into talking about that, I do believe that this mock does show what I was trying to prove, is that these new pieces can be used effectively. Now, you may not like the actual sets, but you could use them. They're very, I mean, if you see my ratings of both of them, I'll leave links on the top here. And oh, just for comparison, let's have a picture here, perhaps, of the original of this, and can give it a good comparison. But the original of this and Kai's Fire Dragon are both very bare bones dragons. Like, they could do a lot more with them. Still using these same pieces, so you know, you could like get them for Parks Pack and stuff like that. There's been a lot of a lot of people don't really like the sets, and if you see my reviews, yes, I'm not really happy with them as dragons, and I think I have to go back and look. I can check even my notes here, but most of the score was lowered scores were appearances, really. Like, obviously with what I've done here, you can make something that looks fairly decent. He still needs some work on him too, but you know, the arms and legs don't look too bad. Maybe the upper arms could use a little bit more work. I think the legs look fine. The feet need some work, but other than that, I think he looks fairly good. He needs some work functionality wise and structurally and stuff to make him sturdier. But you know, what I did with the legs and the arms, using these new pieces, I think it shows that these have potential for some really good build design. And you just got to use, you know, the name of this channel. Well, the first part of the name of this channel is creativity, and or creation, but you know, that basically means creativity. And it needs, you know, just that, and you could make something really nice. And I'm gonna probably put this aside for now, but when I get free time, go over it, make it more structurally sound, because I really like this. And I think it's much better looking than the original Jay's Dragon, I think. But what do you guys think? Yeah, let's get to that. What do you guys think of this? And I know there's a lot of bad feelings for these new sets, and partially I can understand it. They're also designed to be simple for the age range as well. But I hope to show that these parts aren't really have good potential with them, and I hope I've changed maybe some people's minds about this. If I have, sure, let me know. Or what do you think? Your opinion's still the same? I don't love them, but they definitely are very usable and can have potential for more. As I said, I didn't have any there's not a lot of technic stuff in this to use with these parts, and there's obviously technicals here. There's potential for some other stuff. I mean, it was this dragon. They use those technicals just to attach the wings, which, if you saw my review, it was like a bad placement for the wings. But this use of the parts for wings, I think, is very good and has potential for a lot of cool things that could be done. But tell me what you think about everything here, and also what do you think about the having a building challenge type thing. It's something I'm going to be doing in the future eventually. Like I said, I need more viewers. I need a bigger audience to do this with. I also have some other things that are going to need some work done to implement this. I'm kind of winging it here with this video. I don't have any particular standard setup like I do with my reviews. But other than that, it's also going to require some development on my end. I might have to do something outside of YouTube. I don't know how well this will work. I want to, and by the way, if I do something like this, the challenges won't be to build something with 2 sets. I'd never ask anything like that. But a challenge might be take this set and try building something with it, or take this set or use your own collection to make something like this set. I might do that with older sets that you can't get your hands on. As that's the thing. The building challenge will be related to whatever I'm doing, a particular thing, but you don't have to. There are going to be rules. But they don't necessarily have to be strict rules. For instance, you don't have to buy 2 of these sets to build this. Now, if you're trying to do something with these parts, and yes, you would need this, but say maybe you only got the red dragon. Okay, take the red dragon and build something with that, and maybe your own parts. Show me what you could do with these parts. That would be, yeah, for this instance, for this video, if I was doing building challenge based on what I wanted to do with this video, I would ask you guys to build something using these new parts. Now these parts are multiple sets. There's the Zane's mech, which is the cheapest one, and you could use your own sets. I wouldn't put quite the restrictions on here. Now, there might be some more restrictions or whatever, but yeah, I'd have you try to build some dragon. You would have to build a dragon using these parts, and that would be the basic of it. You wouldn't have to have 2 of these sets or anything like that. But that's strictly for this one. Now, I'm going to be doing older sets eventually, and obviously people can't get their hands on those anymore. But what I might have you do is say, this is a building challenge. I'm going to see what I can build with this set, right? using just the pieces from this set. And it would be a challenge to me. My challenge to you would be the same. If you happen to have that set, show me what you can build with it. Or if you don't have this set, use your own pieces to build something similar to this. Like, you know, you use what you have to build this. And that could not necessarily be exactly to scale. You could also build, like, say, a mini model of it, using what parts you have. So if you don't have a big collection, maybe you have enough to build something small that would mimic what that particular set is, or something like that. This is going to be, like I said, far in the future, and I might have to build something. This is a little bit more complicated. It's going to require programming and stuff. I'll make a web page outside YouTube that I can post these pictures on, because what I want to do is be able to show them, and you know, and the idea is I will go through them, and I might rank them, or rank the top 10, but I'd still want a place where I could post them so you guys could see other people's things of them. It's kind of the community I'm trying to build here. But yeah, so tell me what you think about that as well. It's something far in the future, as I call it. That's step 3. I mean, really still in the beginnings of step 1, maybe step 1.5. Ultimate step 1 was get the channel started. Then now it's to get the channel to grow. So I'm there. Step 2 is more to do older sets, which I'm probably going to start doing anyways, just because there's not always brand new sets to do. I'm actually going to be working backwards. I'm not going to quite do retro sets. I do have some very old sets to go over and look at. We'll be looking at them eventually. I'm also going to do other things besides Legos. I've you know, kind of changed my opening to express that. It was always the plan anyways, partially just to compare other competitors and other things to Lego. And there'll be other, you know, videos and stuff, but those were my plans. So let me know what you think about at least the building challenges and the mocks and things like that. And also let me know what you think about this new, you know, core set Legos with some of these new pieces they've added. I have mixed feelings about these wings. Like I said, you could do something cool with them, like I did here. I think this looks nice and decent. I mean, it'd be nice if I had these in different colors, better match, but functionally and even aesthetically it looks better than the way they had it in the Red Dragon, the Fire Dragon. And yeah, so tell me what you think. And of course, as usual, if you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe. And if you've already subscribed, and if you want to help the channel grow, then just, you know, do what you can to spread it to other people. You know, tell them about the channel. Like, check out this guy's channel. He does really in-depth reviews, shows parts and whatever. And, you know, help it grow that way. I know there's a lot of people that are watching, so or at least catching people's eyes. The length of time they're watching isn't very long, so I don't know what's going on with that. There's something new that YouTube's introduced the past month or two now, I think. Is if you hover your mouse over one of their videos, it starts playing and actually counts. So I don't know if that's that's actually counting in the watch times. But either way, if you want to help it grow, you know, word of mouth works just as well as YouTube's algorithm, probably better. So maybe, but that's one way. And of course, leave the comments down below. I want to read them anyways, because I definitely want to hear some kind of feedback for this one. I don't know if I'll get any, but you know, hear what you guys have to say about this type of video. And this is just a sneak peek of something may be even a year in the making before I get anything more complicated. I got a lot of other things I've got to work on this channel back back end parts. Of course, need to earn money. That reminds me of something else I was supposed to do this week and get it done. But I'm looking into Patreon and other ways to get finances for it other than just YouTube's ads, which I am a long way off from getting any ad revenue from that. But yeah, so subscribe if you haven't and enjoy what you like here. Spread the word about the channel. I have Facebook and Twitter links down below. I know I get traffic from Twitter. I haven't seen much from Facebook, but there are those options, and I'll probably be looking into more in the future. So yeah, that's it for me here at the Creation Evaluation Station. No evaluations today, but some fun things just the same, and I hope you enjoyed it, and also reminding you that creativity is key.